What's happening, Andy here? I'm joined today by AJ from Clover. How are you, AJ? What's happening?
I'm doing well, doing well. How are you?
I am awesome. Where are you today?
I'm in Hoffman Estates in our corporate headquarters. So in Chicago for the foreseeable future, which is
I
good.
should have known. You got that wonderful, warm corporate lighting behind you.
Yeah.
Got the sun blocked out. It looks like you actually have some sun. We may have some sun peeking out here in Rochester for the first time in a while. We haven't caught up in a long time. You run a big chunk of Clover, obviously a very important uh, uh, vendor in the office equipment, the reseller industry that I cover. And so let's just step back 30,000 foot view, elevator pitch. Who's Clover? What do you guys do for the one person watching who might not know you, and what do you do for them?
Yeah, so I'm our senior vice president of sales. I oversee the dealer channel. So any of the independent dealers that buy and resell office equipment, toner, whatever it may be, that all rolls through my team and up to me eventually. And what Clover does is we remanufacture toner cartridges, which sounds boring, but it's obviously a very large part of the industry. So we take the OEM cores and we recycle them and then remanufacture them, put them back out for resale. So give our dealer community the opportunity to sell a very high quality product while making a better margin than they would selling the OEM product. So a big part of the dealer community today. So
Well, you're a huge part. I think that's a bit of an understatement. You guys are, I would say the biggest out there as far as supporting dealers in this capacity. And obviously the product comes with hardware, with supplies, with aftermarket parts and things like that. Well, genuine parts. But after a while, the dealers have a choice. Sometimes because of availability, sometimes because they just are looking for, maybe an improved margin. But companies like you guys have been out there a long time. Your boss Jim has been out there doing this for a million years, very well known in the business. I saw some of your people earlier this year. I saw Jen that we were talking earlier. I think I saw her at Flex. We saw her at something else that I was at CDA somewhat recently. So I thought maybe we'd catch up today. You have been very busy. For anybody who hasn't been hearing back from you, you've had good reason. 7 week cross country tour, 38 dealers. That even for me is quite a trip. So let's talk about it. I don't know if you can talk about who you visited. I'd love to hear, where you went, who you saw. And what are your thoughts seeing some of these dealers? What's going on with them? What are they struggling with? And what were you talking to them about?
yeah, so it started a little bit before the IBPI show, and then kind of went through the month of April. And really, the idea and the reasoning behind it is we have been very successful post pandemic in helping dealers diversify their offering, get more aggressive in the field, find new opportunities within their customer base. But felt like I'd been kind of operating under old assumptions and needed to get back out in the field, meet face to face with a lot of dealers, and just kind of reconnect, relearn about what's happening in the industry and where their pain points are, where we can be a little bit more aggressive and put programs together that are a little bit more beneficial to our customer base. And it would probably be a longer call than both of us want if I went through each and every individual one. But the consensus is that there's still a lot of angst in the industry post pandemic. There's still a lot of opportunity within each and every individual dealer, but they are all so different. And our OEM friends and their OEM partnerships have changed over the course of time. There's been a lot of acquisition, so there's more mouths to feed within every dealership in terms of adhering to OEM relationships. And so there's just a lot of changes that have happened in the last 4 or 5 years, and we want to capitalize on that. And what we really want to do is form stronger partnerships in the field with our customer base and get aggressive, work on new opportunities, help our dealers grow, because that's going to help us grow and help drive profitability. So the big tagline that I've been telling everybody, whether it be at IBPI or face to face, is that we're not really interested in being a cartridge vendor at this point. We really want to get out and form partnerships and be a partner to our dealers and find out where there's opportunities for us to assist our dealers in their pain points, whether it be profitability or not being able to win deals because they don't have the full offering through their OEM partnerships. we don't want to upset anything that they're doing currently. We want to complement and help, them find new avenues for growth.
So just 38 dealers is amazing. What was the spread on the size? They were all
All over
little,
the
they were
place.
medium, they were
Yeah,
megas.
all over the place. We really try to get in with a lot of the bigger dealers that have OEM relationships to understand those, and then you just kind of build out from there and make smaller meetings with other dealers on top of that, which it worked. I did make note the idea was to get into 38. We only got into 33, but it's still a lot of dealers, and I got a lot of good information just depending on the size and the scope and who their partnerships are, what they go after. And so it was all over the place. The biggest dealers in the country, all the way down to smaller companies that just sell toner transactionally to a handful of customers. So.
Well, I know that you're massive with the mega dealers. I went to a bunch of their kickoffs, several of their kickoffs this year, and you were at all of them. A big partner for them. So I'm amazed when you say 38, 33 out of 38 appointments is like that's I think back to my copier sales days, and that's quite an achievement to get 38, 33 people to open their doors and say, here, spend some time with us, tours around the offices. That's one of the things I love is actually seeing the dealerships, and I'm sure you got a tour at every one of those places you went to. What kinds of things are you seeing out there that they're starting to do in their facilities that maybe surprised you? Are they moving into displays a little more? Are they setting up their demo rooms differently? What are some things you saw? What was a takeaway on this trip?
A lot less foot traffic than what I'm used to, but I will say that all of our partners have been very savvy in terms of finding ways to differentiate and diversify their business. We've got a lot of customers that are really putting their shoulder into managed IT services. Displays have been a big one, voice over IP, cloud services, and then just also differentiating their print environments as well. So lots of differentiation that's going on out there. And once again, it just depends on who you're visiting. There's different mentalities. A lot of people don't want to get out of their core competency and they want to continue to do what they've always done, but just maybe make slight tweaks in how they go to market. And then there's dealers out there that have completely revamped their entire strategy and gotten very aggressive on a new product category. So it's varying, but I will say that managed IT is a big hot button for a lot of these guys. Display signage, display production print, that was bigger than I thought it would. A lot of our partners are leaning into that. And then, like I said, voice over IP is another one that I was surprised to see pretty consistently out in the field. So.
Voice over IP, just easy money to me for these guys. It's typical break fix, and the best part is 36 months in, they need a new phone system, because this is one industry where the phones do get better every 3 years. They make themselves obsolete. They've got it figured out on that side of the house. But back to our core, what we do, putting prints on pages. You do have a lot to offer, even outside just the cartridges, which you're so well known for. But the printer program, you guys started remanufacturing printers years ago. What's that been like over the last couple of years? I know there's been a lot of challenges in the field with a variety of manufacturers just keeping up with their own product line. I'm sure you got calls, right? So how has that gone? Is that something that you can even keep up with at this point? And
yeah, we're not immune to some of the challenges that everybody's had with supply chain. We have, I'd be sitting here lying if I told you that we had everything in stock, perfectly in stock all the time. But the OEMs and some of our competitors have had a little bit of a more difficult time keeping stuff in stock, whether it be due to the 9-star situation that happened last year, just product coming in overseas, or just demand changes with COVID print. And I still feel like people are trying to forecast and accurately get an idea of what office life is going to look like. But where we've been benefiting is, on top of us not being segmented into a certain OEM or a certain category, because we can be everything that a dealer wants us to be. We can support pretty much anything that would be out in their MIF, and help them, increase profitability, find product that they're having a hard time getting. That's where that partnership comes in. We want to come in and help dealers, find opportunities within their current customer base. And going back to diversifying and differentiating their offering, a lot of these dealers are making an effort to change their infrastructure and get into managed IT or get into VoIP or get into some other product category. But the crazy thing is that they all have a massive amount of opportunity sitting in their current customer base that they're not touching. And they're making this decision to completely pivot and go into something new when they've got reps that are familiar with imaging, they've got a system that's familiar with imaging, their whole business is set up that way. And they've got tons and tons of unmanaged devices in their current customer base. They're selling customers XYZ products, but they're not capturing, a couple of the printers that are in there. And that's where there is a massive opportunity for these guys to just go in and find an opportunity within a customer that knows them already. They're already set up to bill. They know the rep that's associated with the account. They know that it's a good relationship, but you're not capturing everything there. And where dealers miss is that they aren't compensating the reps like in a way that gets them to go aggressively go after that kind of business. They're not looking at it. A lot of people are greenfields. They want to find net new business. It's harder than it ever has been to close a new customer. So go back and look at the customers you've got and make sure that you're milking them for everything you possibly can. And that's where we come in, because we're not going to tie a dealer to an agreement. We're not going to make them hit a certain threshold. We just want to help our dealers grow, because their growth is our growth as well. And there's so much of that out there. And that's where, going back to, asking about the different conversations we've had in the field, there's a couple dealers, and I'm not going to give names specifically. I can, somebody wants to call me and talk, I'm more than happy to have that conversation with them on the phone. But, we've got a couple dealers that took a look at what they were buying right now, older SKUs that have seen price increases and legacy contracts, and we're helping them just increase profit margins on old product that's been out in the field for a long time. They're still buying OEM, or finding dealers and helping them get their reps trained up to just call and dial for dollars transactionally on current customers. It's just depending on the specific dealer. We want to come in, have a conversation, work together, and come up with a program that works specifically for that customer, not a one-size-fits-all a la carte offering that we take to the field.
So you uncovered a couple of really nice examples. I think you wanted to share one of them, maybe from your trips, where you guys came in and sat down with somebody and just uncovered, without getting too specific on and identify anyone, what did that look like?
Yeah. So, you look at a lot of these dealers have a data collection agent already installed, right? Yep. They've got the business trending through, maybe they're a Konica or a Sharp or an HP dealer, whatever it may be. They install the DCA out in the field, and then what happens is they capture the devices that they went in and wrote the contract for, but there's 10, 15, 20 unmanaged devices out there. It may be a BTA dealer that has a rep that's really confident and comfortable selling an A3 device, but doesn't do anything with A4. Or there's a bunch of unmanaged, unnetworked transactional printers within a customer. It might just be inkjet cartridges. So the couple dealers that we've really made inroads with and had a lot of success is identifying opportunities within current customers through the data collection, where they're either not capturing everything, and then we put a proposal together, whether it be MPS or transactional. We can do it however the dealer wants, and we put it in front of the dealer, and they can go out and put their margin in, propose it to the rep. We can help them fulfill that through an MPS contract, doing an entire program through one of our partners, or just supply the cartridges on that specific deal and the parts, or maybe break fix. We can be as invested into that customer as the dealer wants us to be. So that's an opportunity. Or just looking at deals through the data collection agent that they can pull data in and look at where, if they have an expectation of making X% margin on all their MPS contracts, and they've got 15 that are below that, let's look at the line item data on those 15 accounts and help you just pick and choose places that we can be more aggressive to get that margin back to where those dealers want it to be. So those two big deals that we're working on right now are right down in those two segments, and looking at the data collection and helping them find opportunities within the data they've already got. You don't have to do anything special. You know exactly where they're printing, how much they're printing, what machines they are. You have everything you need to be successful in a customer.
Well, that's one of the things, right? A dealer can look at their landscape right now and say, okay, I've got this managed, and I'm working with Clover over here. But a year from now, 2 years from now, things don't stand still, right? And as the landscape shifts, as it changes, as certain companies sort of have issues with inventory, have issues, keeping up, as products start aging out and those prices start increasing for legacy product, for old product, for discontinued product, right? This is where you guys shine. And then you mentioned earlier, and it's kind of obviously following a huge trend that we all watch is the acquisitions. Anytime one of these dealers acquires another dealer, there seems like there's a lot of times that there's another brand involved that maybe they didn't, might not be one of their main brands. Maybe they don't even support it. Now, how do you guys get involved there? Is that something that you can help them continue? Or, what happens when somebody acquires a new organization like that?
Yeah, and that's been very common. Acquisition has been a thorn in everybody's side, except for the acquirers. I guess it's always good then, or for the most part. But and I mentioned it a little bit earlier. Is what happens in a lot of situations is that the dealer finds themselves in a situation where they've got too many mouths to feed. They've got new OEM partnerships or even aftermarket relationships that they didn't have before acquiring a certain particular dealer. And so we want to work within that organization and help you find the opportunities where we might be able to help support a MIF that they were not accustomed to doing. Whether we help them outsource some of the service offerings to one of another partner where they sign an NDA and we got techs that can get into a customer, or it may come down to the fact that we've got more collective cores than anybody else in the world, and I can go in and look and see if we've got enough product to help support a MIF that they're not comfortable supporting. And we might be able to help them manufacture a product. If they test it in the field for us, we can start shipping product for them to help them sunset a deal and get it up into, keep bridge the gap until they're ready to get into new hardware that they're more comfortable supporting. And once again, it just goes down to the dealers that we have these types of strategic high level conversations with, where they tell us the frustrations they've got. We can take that back, and 9 times out of 10, we're going to be able to come up with some sort of solution to help them. And I've got, the best operations fulfillment team behind me that will, go and try to work on any weird deal that one of our reps brings back and try to make it work. And so,
and I bet they can be pretty weird.
Yeah, they're all over the place. And that's what it just comes down to, the partnership and, not coming in and being just a traditional vendor that we're selling cartridges. We're going to sell cartridges all day, but the dealers that we partner up with and have those types of conversations are the ones that grow with us, that are facilitating our dealer growth, and then also they're the dealers that are seeing a nice influx of profitability. So it just all comes down to having conversations. They're all so different. Their agreements are so different. Their needs, expectations are so different. So we can't go to market with a one size fits all program.
Well, I can understand that. I mean, especially at a company that is as diverse as you guys are, and where our clients are so diverse, right? I mean, we share the same clients. Mine are readers and followers, and yours are, hopefully pulling out credit cards for you and acquiring and buying online. I just want to shift gears for the last couple minutes and just talk about, one of the things I love about you guys is, the same thing I love about my company, right? We're American companies. We're supporting an American dealer community. I love the companies from all over the world that play in this channel, but there is something special about that. And there's not a lot of companies that are based here like you guys are. You are a global company, but you are an American company. So tell me, especially with what went down in the last couple of years, between the pandemic, between one of our major suppliers running into some issues with some labor issues, 9-Star, what does that mean, to you guys as being an American company? What do you think that means to the dealers?
Well, I'd like to think it means a lot to the dealers in terms of partnering with somebody that does, employ a lot of Americans. Obviously, we do our manufacturing still down in Mexico, right across the border, but they are a partner with us, from a global standpoint. And I think we're pretty proud that we're not outsourcing our manufacturing, overseas at this point. And I think that from a supply chain standpoint, just from a legality standpoint, making sure that our dealer community knows that they're getting a quality product that isn't violation of any intellectual properties. It's not coming from questionable sources. They know what they're getting when they buy from us. And so, pricing is not always going to be the number one thing that we go to market with. We're not going to be the cheapest, but you get what you pay for in this industry. And utilizing a Clover cartridge, that you're not going to be selling an illegal product. You're not going to be selling something that is, subpar quality. All of the robotics and everything that we do here in the U.S. and take down into Mexico, it allows us to just keep everything within our own organization. We're not outsourcing the vast majority of our products to anywhere else. We're actually building the robots that build our products in-house. Everything is done in a closed environment with our dealers, with all of our customers, whether they be in the dealer community or the office supply, superstore, or whatever, with them in mind, right? We want to make sure that we've got the best possible product in the field. And if we were outsourcing, we weren't in control of it, and we were pushing things overseas, whatever it may be, that would take a little bit of the control away and give us a little bit less of credibility in the industry, in my opinion. I do think that a lot of our partners have been appreciative of that. So.
Well, I love the fact that your manufacturing is so close to home. And, I think being in Mexico, look, is it in the US? No, but it's right over that border. It's on the same continent. And it's, Mexico is a good partner to the US. It's natural, right? And it also puts you in a better position, I think, if and when we do have supply chain issues. Although, we do realize that what goes into those machines, those parts come from all over, right? So, but at the end of this, you wind up, pulling all the parts together. They're built in Mexico. They're right over the border. The shipping is quicker and easier. You don't have these port issues that we got hung up with. It's just one less thing to worry about. So back to the fact that you're local, you're American, your manufacturing is real nearby. I just think that makes, that's one of the things that makes you guys special. And I do think that's just a real asset, a real advantage, I think, for Clover and for their customers. So I applaud you for that. I like that part about your company.
Yeah, and then on top of it, and we don't need to go down this last time we talked, but it's become even a bigger opportunity for our customers, is the ESG requirements that a lot of end users, a lot of our dealers' customers are trying to, hit. And it's not easy for our, for customers, end users to, go carbon neutral or whatever it may be. We're the only game in town that's Green Circle certified. We've got full chain of custody of all of our cartridges. We can give stats and all these statistics for our dealers to send to their customers to make sure they're hitting those ESG requirements. And that all comes down to that remanufactured product being done here, in North America, opposed to outsourcing elsewhere. So, there's a lot of opportunity because of that. And I know that a lot of dealers and a lot of end users are appreciative of that fact as well.
Well, I certainly am. So, just great job, I think, of getting through that last couple of years and winding up in the position that you found yourself in. I can't imagine 7 weeks of 33 dealer visits. So what's coming up for the next 7 weeks? What's coming up for the rest of the year for you? What do you got on the table? What are the Clover people doing for the next few months?
We're going to be, the reps will be out in the field. We've been pushing everybody for face-to-face meetings a little bit more. We're hitting the summer months, so things are going to be a little bit slower, and gives us a good opportunity to get in front of more customers. Me personally, I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I need to be in the office. I'm a little bit behind right now, but it's been extremely productive. And probably before the end of the year, I won't do something that intensive, but we need to keep getting out in front of dealers. So if you haven't heard from me or from your rep recently, reach out. I'd love to schedule time to sit down and get more aggressive and help, facilitate and form that partnership. So we'll be back out in the field again soon. It's just my family needs a little bit of a break from the
travel. I bet they do. 7 weeks is a long time to be away. That's probably a lot of really high quality fast food is what I'm imagining. A lot of heartburn on that trip. Oh, I can only imagine. So anyway, AJ, this has been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Always great catching up with you, sitting down. Any last shout outs, anything you want to end up with, or anything else you want to say to anyone as we
No, I just, if anybody, once again, please reach out. I'm sure, you'll have my contact info on the video. I'd love to talk to anybody and everybody that, just wants to learn more and find out ways that they can diversify their offering or get a little bit more aggressive in the field, and maybe understand their OEM agreements a little bit better. I'm more than happy to set up the time. So, just want to throw that offer out.
Well, always worth sitting down with somebody, especially when they're already a partner, just to explore other areas they could help you. Every one of you listening to this, watching this podcast today, every one of you has been hearing diversify your product line from your vendors, from your OEMs. And here's here's a guy telling you, look, this is, and here's a partner of yours telling you, we've had a lot of success just sitting down with dealers and going over, where we can pitch in and help them. You've already got the relationship. AJ, great catching up with you, and we will talk soon. I'm sure I'll be seeing your Clover people all over the place. So take care. Good talking to you.
Yep. Thanks for having me. Thanks.
Thanks.